Now, Aberdeen's Muslim community is beginning a regular Foodbox programme where they hand out freshly cooked Asian meals to people suffering hardship. It's been promoted by the continuing problems in the oil sector because of the downturn. And just today, the oil giant Shell announced it was shedding another 475 jobs, most of them in Aberdeen. With stalls opening in the next few minutes in the city centre, and our reporter Fiona Stalker went to the restaurant earlier this afternoon where around 150 meals were being prepared.
My name is Ghulam Murtaza and I'm the director of the company. Basically, there's two big pots. They're preparing the rice for the homeless, and if you come top the small pot, that's chickpeas and potatoes, and this big pot, that's a curry, a chicken curry.
So how much are you preparing then for tonight's food box?
Well, it's normally up to 150 to 200 people.
My name's Sumon Hoque. I'm a member of Aberdeen Muslims, and I'm also a manager in a retail shop by profession. Foodbox is basically a product of the current situation in Aberdeen. What we realised was there's a crisis going on. People aren't getting food. There's queues in food banks. Food banks are running out of food. What we realised is we need to do something about it as a Muslim community, and we thought of Foodbox. So it's pretty much offering free food, not just to the homeless, but to everyone that needs it. So people that are going through hard times, whatever the situation, we're offering free food every Wednesday, end of the month. Come along, and we'll have food for you.
How much of a demand do you think there is for this?
Well, usually with charities and food banks, it's vetted. But initially, what we're going to do is we're not vetting it, so we're just keeping it open as a gesture of goodwill. Whoever feels the need to have food, come along. We'll do our best to provide it. We believe everyone has the right to eat, and we feel it's an obligation to give food. While we've got dinner on our table. If our neighbour doesn't, it's our obligation to give them food. So whoever wants to eat, come along. We'll try our best to provide them the food. We realise, homelessness is a standard thing we have across Scotland, and we have charities to deal with that. But what they're not built for is this unexpected redundancies coming in, week out. So you're going to influx of people suddenly without a job, can't pay their bills. Before you know it, they can't pay for food. So we have to step in. If the momentum builds, if we get the support of the wider community, we can do it more frequently, and we can also diversify the product offering. So we're starting off with just hot food, but there's no reason we can't offer winter kind of garments, and we'll see how it goes. But ultimately what we want to do is kind of minimise what's going on. On a bigger picture, it's something proactive has to be done within the oil and gas industry, but this is something reactive, and all we're doing is firefighting.
Okay, well, with us as well is Scott Baxter from the Cyrenians charity, which is a charity of the homeless. Scott, since the oil and gas downturn hit and started to bite, what sort of trends and differences have you seen in your service?
We have seen probably the most unprecedented increase in demand for services across the board, not just ourselves. I would say the last 12 months that trend just seems to continue. It's very alarming for organisations like ourselves and those that are trying to do our best just to be able to keep up and meet that demand. So initiatives like what Aberdeen Muslims are doing, they've always been very supportive of those in need in the city, mobilising themselves, identifying where organisations like ourselves need that additional help. And as I say, the Foodbox idea is a great idea, because not necessarily it's the people that we perceive that are most in need. There's a lot of hidden hardship out there.
More job losses announced today. That's going to put an even bigger strain on services like yours and initiatives like the Foodbox.
Absolutely, and again, it doesn't seem to be any kind of let up. Unfortunately, these announcements are coming very rapidly on a almost like a daily basis, and behind every job loss there's a family.
Okay, just finally then, a reminder, where and when can we see Foodbox, and those who need it, where can they get it?
Foodbox, last Wednesday every month, St Nicholas Square, Aberdeen, 6:30 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. We'll be there, rain or shine.